Hi guys, I hope you're all doing okay. I think this is about my third week on Galliano. Time kind of just doesn't exist here. It's really weird. I don't even know what day of the week it is or anything at the moment. But yesterday I decided I was going to walk into town, and I say town but it's really just kind of one street, and it has a bakery, a cafe, a little local store and a garage. So I set off really early in the morning, and it's about 8 or 9 miles to get there, which I think is like 12-13 kilometers, and I actually don't mind walking. I really enjoy it, so 8-9 miles is doable for me, and it's a good way to kind of know your surroundings and stuff. So I set off really early in the morning, but what I didn't plan for was how hot it was going to get, and also that the entire route was uphill. And also I didn't have any phone signal for the entire time, and I had to like memorize the map because I didn't download it. So I was walking, and it just seemed to keep going uphill. It was up, and every time I thought I was getting to the top of the hill, it would kind of go into a corner and be another hill and another and another, and it just kept going up and up and up. And I got to about mile 6 or 7, I think, and I had been walking for about 2.5-3 hours, and I was absolutely exhausted, and I thought I can't do any more, I'm done. So I thought I'll try hitchhiking, and this is something I've never done before, but it's quite common here on the island because there's no public transport, and it's actually quite safe because everybody knows everyone. I don't think that it's something I would try anywhere else, but here, like, it felt safe to do it. So I hitchhiked, and a lovely lady called Lisa picked me up, and she kind of shared a bit of her story with me, and she drove me into town, and it was a really nice experience. I wandered around town, I got coffee. There's a cute little art centre there. I think it's called the Yellow House, the Little Yellow House or something. And I managed to get some nice pictures and videos and stuff, so I'll put that in here for you. And then I walked down a huge big windy road, and I found a beach. I just kind of had a day doing that and exploring, and I was so exhausted by the end of the day because I ended up walking about 10 miles yesterday. There's something biting me. I knew it. Hang on. Just when I think I'm safe, I'm getting attacked again. I don't know why they like biting me so much. I mean, I love insects. Look, I've got them tattooed all over me. I love insects, but you know what? Mosquitoes, they can go. So I can share with you what happened the weekend before this one. I went to the local market, and they have local craftsmen and artists and all kind of things. It's really lovely. They have homemade cakes and jewelry and art and all kind of stuff. But anyway, because everyone kind of knows each other, I went round the stalls and kind of introduced myself and said, oh, I'm new to Galliano Island and da, da, da. Anyway, I got to the jewelry stand and I was looking at the rings, and one really stood out to me, but I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I need this, I'm not sure. And then I kind of put it down, and then I picked it up and I put it down, decided to get it, and I took it to the lady that was there, and she heard my accent and she's like, oh, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Scotland, I'm from Edinburgh. And she said, oh, that's so funny, I've just, you know, she was Canadian. She said, oh, I've just discovered I've got a long lost family in Edinburgh, and I'm going to go there, and I've never been before. And anyway, it kind of sparked up a conversation, and we started talking about Scotland and everything. And she was telling me about her life, and I'm not actually sure how old she was. I mean, she was older than me. I don't want to guess her age, but maybe like late 60s, 70s maybe. I'm not sure. I'm really bad at guessing ages, but anyway, she was really cool. She had like really long grey hair, and she had lots of floaty clothes and cool jewellery, and she made all the jewellery. And yeah, we just had a really good chat, and she was saying that she's still travelling and she goes to India every year with her jewellery. And yeah, she just, you know, and she said, oh, if you ever want to like come and see me, and she says, I know what it's like when you're traveling, you want to like meet people and stuff. And I said, oh, she's just really cool. She was just a really cool lady, and I was like, oh, I bet she's got some great stories. So that was really nice. And then what I did was, this was actually quite a good plan, I think. I went and sat on a bench, and I just kind of people watched, which I love to do. And people were coming to sit on the bench, and then we kind of spark up a conversation, right? And that's such a good way to sort of talk to people. So I thought that was a good idea. Anyway, I started talking to this other guy. He was an older guy, and he was sort of telling me about his life story, and it was so lovely. Like, this is exactly what I want to go traveling for, is to meet people and talk to them and share stories, and like that, for me, that's one of the most important parts. And he was just, he gave me some really good recommendations of places to visit in Canada, and he was saying, like, he was married for 30 years and has kids and stuff, and then his wife suddenly left him, and he just completely turned his life around. He started doing meditation and yoga and all this kind of stuff. He stopped drinking, and he said he lost all his friends because they all thought he was weird, and he's like, you know what, I'm just happier now this way. And yeah, he was just such a cool guy. So I'm really happy that I kind of got to chat to some of the locals, and yeah, hopefully I can do that some more before I leave. But yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes me happiest. And honestly, if you knew me like 10 years ago maybe, I was the most introverted, shy person ever. Like, I never talked to anyone because I just had such bad anxiety and social anxiety and shyness, and I would never have spoken to anyone. And now it's one of my favourite things to do. I love talking to strangers, and I love it when strangers talk to me too. Honestly, I love hearing about people's life stories, and I think just having that connection with another human and actually wanting to find out about them and just being a good listener. And anyway, it's one of the joys of travelling. It's one of my favourite things. I was trying to think of, some sort of wisdom I could share with you since I've been here. Like, what have I learned in my 3 weeks on a remote island? And I have any big kind of epiphany since being here, which, I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but the only thing I've kind of learned is that every day is a new challenge. Maybe challenge isn't the right word. A new experience for me to learn from. Maybe. Actually, that is one thing I am learning, is to become more aware of the words that I'm using, because your words really do have power, and if you keep attaching negative connotations, or you keep saying things in a negative way, I feel like it's just kind of giving it more power. So I'm trying to kind of flip that and be more conscious of the words I'm saying. So I don't really want to use the word challenge because it makes it sound negative almost. So if I say, like, it's a new experience that I'm going to learn from, to me that has more of a positive power, right? Because everything that I'm coming up against is making me grow a little bit more. And yeah, I've had many of those experiences since I've been here, and I guess I'll share more of them in time. I can't really make sense of a lot of stuff that's happening right now because I'm right in the middle of it, and it's not going to make sense to me until I can look back on it and kind of process, okay, this led to this, does that make sense? It's quite a lot of different stuff at the moment, and yeah, every day is a new emotion. You see all these kind of inspirational quotes about changing your life and life's too short and go on an adventure and just do this and this and this, and it all sounds like, yeah, that's the dream, that's like the thing we all want to do, but actually the reality of it is really difficult. I mean, it looks really idyllic and beautiful when I post pictures of nature and the lovely videos, and it is that beautiful in the moment, it's really lovely, but what it doesn't capture is kind of all the other stuff that goes along with travelling. It is a big adventure, but it is completely unknown. Oh, there's a moth on my hand. Let me see if I can show you. Look at this little guy. He's staying with me. I love moths, I love moths. Oh, he's so cute. Can you see him? You might see in my videos there's like a little blue thing down here, right? It's because I use a lens. I don't know if you call it a lens or a filter, but it basically clips onto my my iPhone. If you film on iPhone or take a photo, it auto corrects everything and I really don't like the colouring of it. A lot of the time it's overexposed, so I don't use that for filming. I use an app called Blackmagic, which is free, and it also goes along with my editing software, which is DaVinci. And yeah, I use that because then I have control over the exposure and things like that. And then this filter, it's got a little thing you can turn and change it, so it's not overexposed, and you just get a kind of nicer colour. But what it does when I use it on the front camera is it gives it a kind of blue bit down here sometimes. I'm not really sure why that is. It must be the reflection of the sun or something. I'm not I'm not very technical. So it's just this little thing here. It clips over my iPhone camera. I never use iPhone camera to film. I always use the Blackmagic app, so I control the settings. And then you can see there's like a little dial you can turn up and down for the exposure. So that's quite a cool little gadget. Anyway, that's all my updates for now. I'd just like to come on here and chat with you guys and make sure you're all doing good. Oh, there's another another wasp. I've only had time to paint one nail, so I'm going to go and do that. But first let me share with you my view because it's really beautiful.